Hello. Tell me if this audio is working. How you guys doing? I Shoot Astros back. Jim. What's up, Jim? Looks like a bunch of people here. Let me know how this is sounding. If things are working, I had a little bit of a struggle to get stuff going. And then we'll look at these Vibergs. I put some new laces on. Nice. Vintage Future. I'm actually putting the laces you gave me. I put them on already. But we had some feedback, and I think I'm going to get like a formal vote for all this stuff. See which I should put on. All right. We're up. We're live. Let's spin the camera around here. And, all right. How's that? All right. I'm big. It's a bit quiet. All right, cool. Let me fix that. How's that sound? Too loud? Too quiet? Bit quiet? Still quiet? I think I can turn it up. I had to factory reset this microphone because it stopped working. All right, hang on. We'll get the mic louder. Hang tight. Levels. Let's go up a little higher. Okay. It might be too loud. I might be clipping it. Hello. Test. I'm testing this. Looks like it's a little clippy. One sec. Hello. Okay. How's that? All right, let's do this. Let's take a look at these Vibergs, because I put the laces on them, and I wanted to. I think I gave an unfair vote. All right. I think I gave you an unfair way to look at just the laces by themselves. So here we are. With the Vibergs. Check them out. These are still really sweet. All I did was brush these today, and that life sort of just comes right back to the shelf. So I put a pair, or one of each of the pairs of laces on here that we looked at on Friday. And there's the brown here on the left, which look nice. That's pretty clean. I think these green ones are perhaps a little bit better. So I wanted to show you these as they're on the boots, so you can get a good sense of which I should do. Maybe help me out to pick. I'm kind of leaning towards the green right now, but I thought I'd give you guys a look at these before I change them all the way up. Give me one sec here. Yeah, I think the green works really well. Really well. So, yeah, that's cool. I think I'm going to go with those. I'm kind of also leaning more towards these round ones instead of the flat waxed. Just because the eyelets are a little bit smaller on here, I felt like these are a little bit better look. So thanks for that. Everybody tell me what you think for brown or green. Again, I kind of lean towards the green right now. And then let's get in the show. Everybody's voting green. A lot of people voted green last time. Okay. So I'm going to not watch the chat for a sec. And, oh wait. Yes, I realized I just was showing the boots without showing you my screen. Sorry about that. So let's get on the show here. I got a lot of stuff to show you today. We got a lot to ship out. So today's gonna be kind of a quick video. We'll look at everything we're shipping, and then maybe 15-20 minutes for questions and stuff at the end. I would love to answer any questions you guys got. All right. Well, hello. Welcome everybody. It's Phil here from Ashland Leather. It's actually snowing here in Chicago right now, which is bizarre being that it's the middle of March. So we got snow here, so we can't seem to shake the winter. So I'm gonna have to cure my blues here by nerding out on some different leather goods. And I wanted to start off here with a really, really beautiful piece of natural shell cordovan on a Fat Herbie. And this is a leather that we sort of started the brand with, started Ashland making these specific wallets, the Fat Herbies in natural shell. And people really were excited about these, and I'm still excited about them because of the way that they developed patina. And it seemed like a lot of people shared my enthusiasm for patina on leather. Basically the way it transitions just when it's naturally worn. You know, does it change color or change luster? And the natural shells are exceptional for patina development, but also the raw natural is sort of my new dream for patina. But I want to show you this Herbie here because that's a really clean piece of natural shell. It sort of has that dynamic color range, which is really neat, and the way it wears in is extra special. I got a few belts that we're shipping out today, and I wanted to show you this English tan Dublin. I have been wearing this exact belt for, man, almost a year now, and I really find it to be terribly comfortable. I really enjoy how it's wearing in also, and it kind of looks pretty similar to how it is new, which is interesting. But I just noticed it's starting to develop around my waist a little bit better, and it's not the Dublin leathers and the Chrome Excel leather belts that we do, they're not super firm. They have like a nice roundness to them. Let me fix the focus here. Okay. There we go. So I love that about the Chrome Excel and the Dublin, how it's not super firm. Like a veg belt is pretty firm to start, and they tend to wear in to become a little bit more soft and supple. I kind of like this like soft yet firm at the same time that the Dublin and the Chrome Excel have. It's really interesting, and a lot of my friends that have been wearing one of these belts have found them to be the most comfortable belt that they've worn. So we've got also that brown Chrome Excel here to show you. So we do brown Chrome Excel, natural Chrome Excel, and we actually have been doing some black by special request. The brown is really oily and waxy and greasy. You can really see the amount of wax that was tanned into this leather, and that's sort of a characteristic of Chrome Excel, but also most oil tanned leathers. They tend to have this sort of cloudy, waxy, oily look, as well as something called a pull-up. So if I flex this leather like I'm doing right here, we see something here, these lighter tones coming from underneath. That's called the pull-up effect. And Chrome Excel is one of the most famous Chrome Excel leathers, but there are other leathers that have this sort of pull-up effect also. And in fact, on the Dublin, you can get a pull-up on the Dublin, but this is, let's show you this piece of Dublin actually. This will be a good example. This is a leather called Dublin, but this is a different color. This is a cobalt blue Dublin Bugs Moran that we did with these vertical card slots, but the Dublin has something similar to a pull-up effect. So if I run my finger underneath like this, that kind of looks like the same thing, but we call it a burst effect, because the physicality, the physical nature of what's happening here is a little bit different than in the oil tanned or Chrome Excel stuff. We're actually displacing a wax layer that was finished onto the grain of this leather. So when you flex this, you're actually mobilizing the waxes on the surface, as opposed to the Chrome Excel where you're mobilizing the oils that are inside of the leather. And I love that about Dublin. And cobalt blue Dublin has a really neat aqua blue shade sort of inside of it. And then it has that like darker, more navy blue surface. So I love the combination of those two colors, and just the Dublin in general. I've noticed everything I'm wearing right now is Dublin, including this Apple Watch band here and my belt and my wallet. I've just been really into the Dublin recently. Let me give you a look at the inside here. This is the vertical card slot option that we did a pre-order on about a month ago. And we're now able to offer this by request. So if you want a Bugs Moran with these types of card slots on the inside, we can absolutely do it, but we just have to make it to order for you. So we've got these 2 cards on the left, 2 on the right, and then there's sort of hidden card slots underneath. You can fit folded cash inside of these also, which makes this, minimalist style, able to hold a bunch of stuff. I think this is pretty much the most ideal front pocket wallet if you carry a lot of stuff. And here's something that is also a minimalist style I suggest for carrying less stuff. So this is the Frank the Enforcer, and a really, really cool piece of marbled black shell cordovan. Check that out. Got these light orangey tans underneath some darker, more forest green, and that's really, really cool. You look at the backside here too. I really, really like these marbling patterns. The sort of, they're not linear, but just the directionality of how the color changes around in there, I think is really neat. Give you a look at the inside, or the front side again. But this is one that I don't suggest if you carry like a ton of cards and cash. It's not gonna, it will work, but it'll be kind of difficult to get the cards and cash in and out of. So I don't like to use more than 2 or 3 cards in each slot, and then there's sort of a zero-sum balance between how many cards you put in a wallet and how much cash you can easily carry. So that's a really neat piece. Give me 1 sec here. Hey, I wanted to pull up my chat just so I can say hi and answer any quick questions you guys might have. What's up, Ntaku? Good to see you. And speaking of Dublin, here's another Dublin piece. I'm kind of feeling like I need to go back to a Fat Herbie, sort of the flagship wallet for us. I just love this style because I wear my wallet in the back pocket, and because of this layout on the inside, it's just a thinner wallet, sort of generally speaking, just because of the nature of the card layout being spread over more surface area. I think I need to pick a leather and make another Fat Herbie for me to wear. But check out this English tan. Really interesting burst effect that I was mentioning earlier. We get these lighter tones underneath, and then if you sort of flex and mobilize the wax that was finished onto the grain, you can see a little bit more of those undertones there. And then the wax itself tends to make things get darker and more red, but I can always sort of burnish it back like I just did there, or even on the spine here. You're kind of melting those waxes back into place, and it gets a little bit darker, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty special about the Dublin. And it just gives it it sort of expedites the aging for the leather. And I really love the Dublin, especially English tan. It seems like most people agree with me. I think it's our most popular non-shell color right now. Check this out. This is another one of those wallets from the blue collection we did. And I love the denim blue shell. Sometimes it's hard for me to properly capture just how vivid this color can be. In certain lights and angles, it's like a really bright aqua blue, and then other lights, it's like a little darker and more navy. But in person, and certainly in the sunlight, if you take this outside, it's really vibrant and vivid and blue. It's really, really neat. So we did this as part of a blue collection last week, I think. I'm losing track of days. But this one has that reverse interior. I think we are sold out of these right now, but we have the regular denim blue shell Herbie still available. There might be, no, we're sold out of those. My brother's shaking his head no. I think we sold out of most of the blue stuff, but I do have more blue to show you in the video today. Part of the reason I did that blue collection was because it's incredible how many different leathers you can make that are all different shades of blue, and they're all a bit special. So check this out. Oh, Dale's here. What's up, Dale? Check out this Johnny the Fox. This one's been personalized for GDS. We actually laser etch our monograms into place. And it's a little bit easier for us to do that way. And you can get a really precise monogram, and we can do different fonts and stuff. But check out this Johnny the Fox. It's super, super clean. We've started doing this as a standard offering now for the 100% shell foxes, that we're staining and burnishing the edges. So we hand stain this to match the color 8 shell. It's actually the same dyes that they use in the finishing process at Horween. And then we apply a little bit of wax and burnish it. So you get that nice little luster. It's a little bit more filled in with the waxes. And I just think it's really, really clean. So we started doing this for every 100% Johnny the Fox. But some people have asked for sort of just a natural wax and burnish edge with no stain. We can totally do that too. It's just a little bit different vibe. I feel like it's a little cleaner, especially on these card slots here where we stain these edges. It just gives it a really refined look, which I think is appropriate for 100% shell. So I love this one. So thanks so much, DDS. If you check out this video, you got a special Johnny the Fox coming your way. We got so much more stuff. I need to start moving it here because we got to ship these today still. Here's another Johnny the Fox in reverse color 8 shell. It's sort of the inverse of the one you just looked at. So we've got a great Horween ink stamp on the outside. I love the way that the reverse shell wears in. It starts off a little bit dull here, has that subtle sheen to it, but it gets wet and glassy looking, which I really like. And it's got this nice orangey tan on the color 8 reverse, where the black reverse is sometimes more green, and it can range from a darker, more forest green to more of like a tan, even close to this color on the bottom right here. Sometimes the black reverse can get a little bit light like that. Usually it's more green. And the color 8, this is a really good representation of the color range that I see on the color 8 reverse. So sometimes it's darker, more brown, a little bit more red, and sometimes it's a little bit more yellow and a little bit more tan. We try to cut the Horween ink stamp right here just about every time. We find it to be good looking there as well as on the outside. And all those ink stamps are random, so it's got to be a little bit tasteful for cutting for us to make sure we can include it in a nice spot. And we also, you can see it on here too, the Horween ink stamp right there, basically cut perfectly right into the center. This is another one of those blue wallets, and this is the denim blue shell Bugs Moran. Check that out. It's got that same sort of aqua blue, there you go, on the left here. You can see how it sort of ranges depending on what angle I tilt it. It can get a little bit more vibrant and vivid of blue. Sometimes it's a little bit more navy. Oh, man, that's a really we get a lot of people that want custom stuff with crazy combinations and crazy thread colors. But there's something special about like a really clean matching outside and inside. So that's a nice Bugs Moran. I don't know if we have more of those. We might have some more. And here's another English tan Dublin piece. Check this out. I just love the grain character of the Dublin. You can see here all this natural character. And this is something called an aniline finish, which I had to chat with Dale from Aero Surfer LV, his YouTube channel. We did a chat for a long time. It was a great chat, but we were talking about aniline leather, and it's a weird word. It's not a word that I had heard before working at a tannery. But all that really means is there's no paint applied to the grain of the leather. And it's analogous to staining or finishing wood. So if you were to stain a piece of wood versus paint a piece of wood, the stain would show a little bit more of this texture and a little bit more highs and lows in color, where a paint would just absolutely flatten the color. And then you tend to fill in more of these bits of natural character with a solid finish like a paint. So an aniline finish like this Dublin here, you get a dramatic, color range depending on what angle you look at it. If you flex it like this, I get that burst effect, but you also aren't covering up any of the grain character. So you can see all this fine detail you might be able to see here in the leather. And for me, that's what makes Dublin really special, and the way it wears in. So that's an English tan Dublin. It's interesting that I'm wearing so much English tan Dublin. I realized it last night when I had to take my belt off and wash my jeans. I realized that everything I have is English tan Dublin right now. In fact, this is the wallet that I've been wearing for the last 7 months. English tan Dublin Capone money clip. I've been really, really enjoying it, especially the outside card slots here. I've noticed that they're really my go-to, and they're quite easy to use. So I'll put my main card and maybe my ID on the outside, and then I'll put sort of lesser used cards on the inside, like a health insurance card or AAA card, things like that. And then of course the clip. I don't like carrying cash, but I've been carrying a bunch of cash recently, mainly because I haven't been able to expend it. I haven't been able to use any cash, so I just keep accumulating it. I guess it's just been cash I've had for a while. So I do enjoy carrying it in here. What's also interesting is you can sort of take out this clip and just make it a nice little card holder if you don't have any cash at all. And with the pandemic going on, you might not have much opportunity to use cash in the near future. Here's another Capone, but this one's in the natural Chrome XL. You can see the Chrome XL has a little bit flatter, smooth, and polished in grain. A little bit less grain character on the Chrome XL, and that's because the grain is actually polished at the tannery. So you want to see a little bit of a sheen to the Chrome XL. It should have a sort of mild wet look to it. And it's very rich, waxy, and oily, and super smooth feeling. That's a defining characteristic of the Chrome XL is that luster and just how flat and smooth it is. So natural Chrome XL there. That's the most popular Chrome XL color right now. And here's the most popular leather that we're doing, English Tan Dublin again, but this one's on the Johnny the Fox. I was admiring this guy earlier. I really like the edges on this one. Sort of looks like a finished piece of wood, but also again like the matching insides and outsides. I just think this is really, really clean looking, where we have English Tan Dublin on the exterior and on the inside. That's really neat. We've got so much more stuff here. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up to a valet tray. We've got a bunch of valet trays going out. This is a black shell cordovan valet tray. I actually use one of these in my basement right now to hold on my guitar picks and stuff like that. I find it to be easy to use. I put pens in it also. So we actually take lower grade shells and cut them into these valet trays to keep the price down, because they're huge pieces of shell. If we were to cut normal shell, they'd be just ridiculously expensive for a valet tray. So we try to cut these less expensive pieces of shell for the valet tray. So we've got the black shell and color 8 shell. Here's the color 8 shell. So the color 8 part, so you can see some of these imperfections on the bottom here. Not the best, but for something like a valet tray, if it's going to sit on a table, you're never really going to see that. So we've got these 2 valet trays going out. Oh, we've got so many little things here. I wanted to give you a look at the other blue stuff that we're sending. So here's one in intense blue shell. This is the darker blue shell that Horween does. They do one that's a little darker even, and that one's called navy shell cordovan, which the navy shell really looks black. So I don't really like that for something like a small leather good. But the intense blue, this was our main color shell for a while, and we switched it over to the denim blue shell because I think it has a little bit more vibrance. This is still just a little dark for something like a small leather good. Here's actually raw denim here. So you can see sort of immediately the difference in the luster, where that intense blue shell was super bright and shiny. The raw denim I've been really, really into. It sort of has like a matte satin finish to it, which I really like. And the luster is going to develop and increase on this. It's going to look like that piece of shell just with normal use. Here's another cool one. This is a tumbled shell. This is an experiment that Skip started doing about a year ago, and I've been digging it. We don't have much of these left, but I thought it would be appropriate to cut the tumbled blue shell into a couple of these one-shots. Take a look at this tumbled blue shell. It's a little bit more green and aqua in color compared to the other blue shells that we do, but it also has this sort of tumble pattern in it, which is not just a visual texture like on the marbled shells, but you can actually feel the peaks and valleys in the tumbled shell here. So I really, really like the tumbled blue. Here's a funky one that I thought was neat. It seemed like I think this was one of the least popular ones that I just put up because I think it's just so different. This is actually rough out Dublin, but it's a specific Dublin piece that had a little bit too much wax on the rough outside, which you can see here. Those sort of streaks that go from top to bottom here, those are actually just excess wax that should have been applied to the grain side of the Cobalt Dublin. It looks like they accidentally got some on the rough outside. I thought it was interesting looking, so I cut it into a couple one shots. And if you like rough out leathers, this one's sort of a really rough looking suede, which might be an interesting option if you're into that kind of stuff. This one's another leather that I want to do more of. Maybe not this specific color, but this is a leather from Horween called Latigo that I really, really love. It's combination tan leather, but it has a drier feel when compared to another combination tan leather like the Chromexol. I tend to like the patina development that happens on the Latigo a little bit more than the Chromexol, but it's not as rich and waxy and oily as the Chromexol, and it's much more grainy when compared to Chromexol. I've got, here's a cool comb sheath. We did a small batch of reverse shell comb sheaths. So this is a Color 8 reverse comb sheath to go with the Model 1 carbon fiber comb that Chicago Comb does. I really like the design of these. I came up with this sheath. It's just a simple thing to mimic the shape of the Model 1 Chicago Comb, and I still really like the way the sheath just looks by itself. I'm kind of proud of that one, even though it's super simple. It just complements it really well. Here's a vault key holder. This one has 2 screw posts, so you can put keys on the side and on the right side and on the left side, and then it sort of snaps shut just like that. And this one's in the classic Color 8 shell. There's another vault key holder here. But this is my favorite shell color. This is the Amaretto shell cordovan. You can really see the vibrance in that color, and it is really dramatic, the color shift on here. So take a look at this angle. It's a little bit more yellowy orange, and if I just rotate it, it gets more red and brown, and there's something magical in that to me. I really like the Amaretto shell for that reason. And then the lighter orangey parts sort of remind me of the English Tan Dublin, which is probably why I like that color so much. So we got that vault key holder. Oh, here's another one shot. This one, I was looking at some boots on Reddit last night, the Goodyear Welt forum, and there was somebody that had some Miriam horsehide shoes on there, and they were talking about how much they liked the grain character. Well, this is a piece of English Tan Dublin in a bison hide. So it's not a steer hide like most Chrome Excel leathers that Horween would make, or even most leathers that they do generally are bovine. This is actually made from a bison. So you get a little bit more dramatic grain character, especially in the backside here. So all these different bits of striations and texture, that's a little bit more found and more present in the bison hides as opposed to the steer stuff. And it kind of reminded me of the horse butt leather from Miriam that somebody posted about. So, you know, if a shoemaker's watching this, you might want to check out some Dublin, or Dublin in the bison to get some of that natural character. And I was thinking about it also. There's a leather, you're familiar with Chrome Excel, but that pit tanned, Horween does pit tan Chrome Excel that really looks like that horse butt Miriam stuff. And it makes me want to get some pit tan horse Chrome Excel while it's going, because those I think are what you guys are looking for, and you might want to ask somebody like Viberg to make that too. I think that'd be a really cool boot or shoe. Here's another. Okay, here's a wall. I think this is my stunner of the day, and we'll just spoil it for you here. Check this out, Dale. If you're still there, I know that you were considering doing some reverse stuff. If I can find a reverse piece like this for your Herbie, I think that would be the way to go. But check this piece out. It kind of reminds me of the psychedelic shell, but with just less colors. This is actually a reverse black shell, Johnny the Fox, and this has really cool dye marks on it. And I'm going to try to show that for you. See the darker spots? It's like the stain or something pooled in some sections and not others, which I think is really, really neat. Check that out. And then we got the Horween ink stamp cut basically perfectly into the center back. That's really, I love this Johnny the Fox. And then the inside we have more reverse black. This is what we call an all reverse black shell cordovan Johnny the Fox. So you can see the bill slot here. This is the intended side of the shell here, black shell. And you flip it backwards. This is the reverse side of the black shell. That's my stunner of the day. I love that one. Here's another really cool piece. This kind of reminds me again of that Miriam horse rump, I think they call it. Check out the character on this piece of Chrome Excel. This is a natural Chrome Excel, and it sort of has this a little bit more lively sort of ivory shade, and it's a light brown. But man, the natural character in this particular piece is really, really neat. And hopefully that's showing up here, because maybe it's on the left side mostly. Or certain angles it appears a little bit better. But there's these little bits of natural character that I think are really special. Oh, and you got more on the inside too, especially on the right there. Check that out. That's not all the natural Chrome Excel looks like this. I think they're a little bit more rare to see it with this much character. But it's probably the second stunner of the day right there. Oh, we've got a couple more of these new versions of our Giant Foxes where we're finishing them a little bit differently. Check this out with the stained edge. So this is color 8 shell on the outside, and again we've matched that same color on the edge. So this is color 8 edges that are waxed and burnished, and I think the result of it is really, really nice. Super clean look on the inside with that 100% shell, and it looks like we got a nice ink stamp into the back. We got 2 more wallets to show you, and then we'll flip the camera around and answer some questions. This is my third stunner of the day. I was really enjoying this piece when I was brushing these up. This is a black Dublin Johnny the Fox with incredible natural character. Hey Matt, M Tobin 1000 says, please extend my thanks to Matt, who's sending me a new English Tan Dublin Frank later today. Matt just showed me that wallet. So here we go. This Black Dublin. I love this character. Oh man. This is one of those things that sort of sets a small shop or any small shop apart from a bigger brand. As a larger company is not going to be able to produce this with any regularity. And for us, like that's kind of what we're about, is the natural character. So we're able to make a wallet that looks like this, which is why you wouldn't find this at like a bigger store. And man, Black Dublin, I did a video a couple months ago maybe about how Black Dublin I think is just the best black leather you can get. It's for me the only black leather with any amount of character. And I think that's totally special. So we've got matching black on the inside also with black edges. It's the other thing I like about these Black Dublin foxes. Not only are they quite thin, like this right here, super thin. And that's because we had these custom horse hides made for the interiors. But I just love a stealthed out look. So the outside is black, the inside is black, all of the edges are black. And then we also have mill-dyed leather and finished backs. So the back side of the leather and the cross sections of the leather are all black. I like a stealthed out look. So that's my third stunner of the day, I guess. And here's the last wallet. This one's really neat. It kind of is, this is the same leather. Actually, I'll pull out the Viborgs again. We can take a look. But this is the natural shell cordovan that the Viborgs from the beginning of the video were made out of. And I love, again, the way the patina develops on them. And it seems like they're wearing quite well on the Viborgs that I've been wearing. I barely polished those. But check out the luster, the color shift on this piece of shell. It's really neat. On the inside, it's hard for us to get any thin pieces of shell. So what you tend to see from us is color 8 reverse or black reverse for the interiors of foxes. We just have more thin leathers in the black and color 8. And for something like natural, it's very hard for us to get thin pieces of shell. So we try to match them with a color 8 reverse like this for a natural. We could do a black reverse also. We could do a color 8 shell side out. We could even do black. But that's why you don't see natural shell interiors or any of the rare shell colors. It's just we don't have enough leather to sort through to get the thin pieces. Some of the stuff we did, we made like 4 blue shell foxes that were blue on the outside and the inside. And that took us years and years to get. So this is a cool giant fox. Let's compare this. I'll try to clean up the table here, and then we'll compare that to the Viborgs that I've been wearing. And if you're curious to what I've done to these Viborgs, I haven't done anything. In fact, everything that I've done to them, I've documented on the YouTube channel here. And I think the only product that I've applied was one application of the Saphir Cordovan cream. But I think most of the polishing that you've seen on those Viborgs are just from water and brushing. So the general guidance that I like to give people is don't put too much of anything on your leather unless you really, really need it. It seems like the more stuff you put on, the more negative effects that, I guess it's subjective, but you can tend to cloud up the leather. So think of like a sponge or something. You can only saturate that sponge with so much water before it won't hold anymore. And it would just kind of look like water. It won't look like a sponge anymore. You can kind of do the same thing with the leather. So here's those Viborgs. Viborger. Yeah. Let's see if I can focus this for you. So there you go. I haven't done much of these. But the point of what I'm trying to make with that sponge analogy is this leather will only hold so much oil. And then something like Chrome Excel and Shell Cordovan, it's already half wax. So if you apply more to it, you tend to see the waxes and oils sit up on the surface. And it tends to give a little bit more of a cloudy, hazy look, which I don't love. So I don't suggest putting too much and stuff on there unless you really need it. I noticed on these, the brown lace boot here is a little bit more or less scuffed than the left one. So I see this on the toe right here. There's this little scratch. Like I think that could probably use some Venetian cream or some Saphir to fill that in a little bit. I haven't tried water, but I bet you if I put some water on there and just sort of rubbed it in, I think I could fill that in pretty well. And then on the heel here, I think this could use some product also. Let's see if I can give you a better look at that. So see how the scratching, I must have run into a wall or something. But I think these could use some love also. But let me compare that with this wallet. So these are over a year old now, where this wallet is brand new. It's pretty similar. You don't have too much color change on the footwear, and it's because you don't have so much polishing like you do in your pan pocket with a wallet. If you were to wear a natural shell in your pocket, it will sort of naturally polish itself in your pocket, and from the moisture from your body, it tends to darken it up quite a bit, which is why I did the video with these, just polishing it with only water, and it kind of made it more vibrant to me, which I thought was really interesting. So let me flip the camera around here, and then we'll get back to the chat from all the questions you guys had. Hello. Dramatic camera angle. All right, who's here? Thanks for checking out the video and hanging out with me, guys. We'll take a couple minutes. I got to pack up all this stuff and go to the post office, but I think the green laces have got to be the choice. I thought the brown would look better than they do. I think they're actually contrasting in a wrong way because they're more red, and the leather is like already kind of yellow. I don't know. It's hitting me the wrong way with the green laces, or the red laces, the brown ones. I think the green's the way to go. And we'll go through back through the chat here. Say hi to everybody. All right. Jim's here. I Shoot Astro is back. And I think I Shoot Astro, you sent me a link to your Instagram. My brother does most of the Instagram. I saw that message come through, but I got to check out your stuff. Vintage Future is here. I know Dale was here from Aero Surfer LV. And again, if you didn't check out that interview that Dale and I did, I learned a lot from Dale, and I learned a lot from David, Vintage Future. So you might pick something out of there too, that you might get some stuff out of that video. I definitely did. Nataku's here. M. Tobin. And I sent that message to Matt, M. Tobin. He's excited to ship that to you. And I'm glad Matt's taking good care of you. Greetings from Romania, AV Leather. Cool to see you. Thanks for coming and hang out. Green 1000%. All right. Love the green here as well. All right, we're going to go all green. Cool. And what else is coming up? Look at my calendar. I wanted to get some more irregulars going. Here. Green. That does look pretty good, right? Yeah, I think that looks good. We're going to get more irregulars going. And I realized that the experience some people have when we sell out of this stuff is like not super pleasant. So look forward to, I'm going to try to do another live video before we do the irregulars. It might even be the announcement video. We'll see how the baby works out with me this week. But you can look forward to a preview video for an irregular sale that I'm trying to do this week. If not this week, next week. But you'll have plenty of announcement. If you're on the newsletter, you'll get an announcement of all the stuff there first, as well as I'll try to do 2 videos. I'll do a preview video of all the irregulars, and then we'll go through it live if you want to see stuff in person and ask questions. Live again, AKS Minister. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Shout out from Toronto. Is it snowing in Toronto? It's snowing here in Chicago today, which blows my mind. I Shoot Astro says, I have one question. How do you sell wallets when you're small, new? I tried Etsy, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. What's the best way to get your products to people? That's a tough question, because when I was new was 10 years ago, and something like Etsy didn't exist. I don't think Facebook Marketplace existed either. I would imagine that there's stuff these days that I'm unaware of. But what we do is we built a website on Shopify. I have a store on Etsy that we don't really promote. I was trying that out to sort of answer that same question you had, is like, where are people looking for stuff? It feels like if you can do any sort of content on any social media and just stick with it, and you have cool stuff to show, and your product's nice, people pick it up. So I think it's patience, and just keep, come in the chat here. I'm sure somebody might be checking out your stuff right now. If you want to link your page, you should totally link it in here, man. But I don't have any really great advice for how to start new, but other than, just the the mantra that I have is keep making footprints. So as long as you keep doing stuff every day, it really feels like if you put in the work, it pays off. You will get probably frustrated and deterred, but you got to keep going. And eventually stuff starts to snowball, and then you'll be too busy to do anything. Stunner with the green. Oh yeah, this green. This particular, so I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but this reverse fox. God, that's awesome. It kind of looks like the psychedelic shell, right? But it's green. This is actually the reverse black. Ugh, sorry, focus. That's pretty special, I would say. Especially the outside. I think that's a pretty cool piece. Michael Cruz. You know what, Michael Cruz? It's good to see you here. I recall seeing your name recently, and I recall it because one of my past employees, one of the guys that works at Horween, has the same name as you, and he's a friend of mine. So I thought you were my friend. But I guess we're still friends, anyways. I have two Mike Cruz friends. Not snowing. It's supposed to snow here for the next day, which is bizarre for March. Talkeetna Leatherworks. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Talkeetna Leatherworks. You check that out. Anybody's here. I really encourage everybody just making stuff. We kind of live in a world right now where like nothing's real. There's like no real products. So I love to support people that make real things, and especially in the United States, it feels like we don't make things anymore. So I want to give you a shout out, or anybody else here that makes stuff. We can drop your link to your shop or anything you want to promote in the chat here. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's 4:00 here. A town in Alaska. Talkeetna. Gotcha. That's cool, man. I went to Alaska a couple years ago. My father-in-law loves to take cruises, so we did that Alaska cruise. My wife and I did, and it was pretty remarkable up there. I loved it. I know we did like just the touristy stuff, but it was insane. It was beautiful. Yeah, a lot of Mike Cruises out there. Well, hey guys, I gotta head to gotta pack up all the stuff and head to the post office. I'm gonna try to come back again on Wednesday and do some more stuff. I did a video of myself polishing these boots. I might do a YouTube short or edit that together for a YouTube short. I guess it wasn't much of polishing, it was just brushing and putting the laces on. But I showed some detail of like how these other laces ripped, which is here. And they just sort of like unsheathed themselves. See if that works. So there's like a wrapping around the laces, like a sheath. And it just totally fell apart. I think these were the stock Viberg laces. And I think it ripped because of the speed hooks cutting them. Or I don't know, maybe I was tying them wrong or something. But here's the piece. I couldn't even get it out of the eyelet because the sheath was pulling back and it was just getting thick. But yeah, this was not great. So I'm going to put that video up. We'll do some more stuff on Wednesday. We can try to get some irregulars out. But thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being there and hanging in while I had some audio issues too. I don't understand why things happen sometimes, but this microphone did not want to cooperate today. Anyways, thanks again. I'll see you guys later. Let me know what your stunner was. You can drop that in a comment. I'll see you later. Right.